Okay, guys. All right. Last but not least, and then we're gonna do an authors panel after we are. Let's bring on Heather. Listen, oh my gosh, I am so excited to talk with you. Like, so excited because you've been in the group for a while, right? The Facebook group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been in like for a year and a half. I joined as a reader and before I even started my paranormal pen name, so it was like I was just there for myself. But and then I saw you guys did like the author intro and I was just starting, so I was like, you know what? I'm releasing a new book, let me try. And that kind of like I said, I think on the author side, they had you had mentioned like, use this resource, like introduce yourself. I was like, I couldn't believe the amount of love I got just on that post. And it really kind of helped kickstart this PNR pen name of mine. So I love this group. This is like one of my favorite groups in the whole world.
When you told me that, I was just like, I love to hear that back from authors. I'll get messages occasionally from authors that'll say, "Oh my gosh, my author intro post." So for those of you that don't know, the group allows all authors in the group to do a one time, not one time only, it's once a year author intro post where they can introduce themselves, and it really helps. If the post does well, it really helps the author and their book getting the word out. So I was
Yeah,
excited that
especially
it worked.
being honest and open. That was everybody was laughing and stuff. And I was like, well, yeah, I was just being me. And then, and I know that like just from like TikTok and stuff like that. Like I'm always like, let's just be like, yourself when you're coming out there. Don't try to like, force the sale or something, I guess is what it would be. But it's just, I don't know. And then you get to talk to everyone, you get to interact, and that's fun. So
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Okay, I've got to tell you. I've got to tell you. So the witch's wolf, right? Which you guys can see it on here. I think it's like I don't know where my finger's pointing. I think it's pointing right. I think my finger's pointing the right direction. The witch's wolf. I started reading the sample um, before the live today, before this live, and I couldn't put it down to the point where I was like, "Can we reschedule the live?" And I'm just gonna keep reading this book.
oh, thanks. That makes me feel good. I was like, what if she hates it? That's gonna be so awkward. She's gonna stare at me instead.
Because I read Adams last night, and then I was reading Jenny's over lunch, and then like I'm squeezing your in. Hopefully my coworkers aren't watching. Squeezing yours in. I'll make up the time, guys. Squeezing yours in, and I was just like, I actually dropped a note to one of my girlfriends and said, I'm obsessed. Like, and I haven't finished your sample yet. So I just love, let's just talk about it. Let's just get into it. Like don't give me spoilers though. I'm not going to forgive you if you give me spoilers. I'm going to be very displeased with you if you give me spoilers. So,
so the witches, so I'm actually, this is my second pen name, like, but I'm so lazy. Like my first pen name is just Heather Carson, my name. And then I was like, well, I have children's books under that name. And I'm like, no, I had a lot going on last year with like my husband being in the military and he was gone a lot. So I was like, I just want to write my stuff. I want more love, more romance, more spice. Like I wanted fun. I love werewolves. Like actually I love bear shifters almost as much as I love werewolves. So I'm always like, maybe one day I'll write that. But so I had this idea for a trilogy. Okay, basically the idea
can't
came from,
spoil it. I'm
I
telling you
know
right
I'm
now.
trying
If
to
you
like
spoil it,
not
I will
think of
not
anything.
forgive you.
But you know how like wolf packs, like I wanted the idea of like wolf packs coming from like different historical like wolf not like shapeshifter like mythological creatures. So Cerebus oh my god, I can spell it, I can't say it. This is like reader problems. But Hades' dog in the underworld, the three-headed
Yes.
dog. I was like, well then we need like a triplet, for this pack. So that each pack actually has like the last name of like a different mythological creature, like throughout different cultures and stuff. But I was like, so I knew I wanted a trilogy of three different main characters having their own story and how all their destiny is like intertwined together. So The Witch's Wolf is book one of that. And then her sister is book two, which I thought you might like better because that one's angsty and it's a lot spicier. Like, but and then
I like it all. I like it all. Yeah.
so
But
book
no, I
one's
do like
kind of
that too.
like the most sweet. Like it's got darker themes, but it's like a sweet romance. Like I got told it. One of my readers was like, I feel like I'm like kicking my feet and like hugging, like or like it's like a hug. And I've never seen a werewolf book that's like a hug. And I'm like, I don't know. So it didn't go as dark as I thought it was going to. Book two got darker, and book three got really dark. But yeah, but they're different characters, and like each one is like a standalone. But then the story ties over, which if you know my other pen name, I'm the
I like
queen of
that.
cliffhangers. So I was like, their cliffhangers aren't that bad in this one.
That, I actually, I go through, I think a lot of readers go through phases. I go through phases. There's times where I really liked each book to be a different couple, and there's times I didn't. There's times I wanted the same couple through a bunch of them. And now I'm at the point where I like it all. It just depends on what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
Lately, I like what you're doing because my TBR list is massive, and it's like, yeah. And it's like, and I want to try all these authors, especially for like the spotlights. And it's like, oh, thank God, the whole story wraps up in one book. I can do the one book. I can get to know that author. And then, like I'm not locked in for 12 books, But although
Right. And I like to be able to jump. And so like this one I did like recaps like from the characters they were explaining everything because that was my other problem. And because I jump around so much too, or I'll start a series and I'm like, oh, but I really wanted to do this one, and so I like that when they wrap up. But then I was like the intro with all the information. So I could remember like 6 months later. I read fast too and I jump around a lot. So I completely understand. I have reader problems and I try to like make my work like appeal to me as a reader. So
well, that's good. I think that's always a good formula, right? Authors write what you want to read.
yeah.
Right. And then it's good. It's a good approach. I was immediately drawn in. It's such a cool, as I'm reading it, I was thinking of Divergent.
So my original pen name, Heather Carson, I wrote a lot of like YA dystopian and post-apocalyptic, like high octane. So I have dystopian roots. And so I was like, I have to bring my dystopian roots over. My readers would never let me would never forgive me if I didn't bring my dystopian roots with me.
Oh, I love it.
Centered around that. So yeah, I did bring my dystopian roots with me. I was like, I can't write, like, even though I want my werewolves, I got to mash it with dystopian somehow.
So cool to think like immediately drawn. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. So at the very beginning, the sister, we find out that she's not pure. She's not like pure blood. And it's in a world where there's a border around the city, and outside the border is the
They're called
fringes.
isolated utopias. They're fun.
Yeah. Isolated utopias. And so like you have to be pure, and if you're not, then you get sent off to a lab to be experimented, or you have to leave and go in the fringes. It's probably more information than that, but so immediately I'm drawn in because I'm like, oh, they're getting booted out, they're gonna have to go to the fringes. And I know I'm at the point where they're at the guard stand leaving, and I'm like,
there's so much. Secrets are coming.
I want to know what's in the fringes. And then I know that all I know right now is there's mutants outside the fringes. I don't know that there's wolves yet. Obviously there's a wolf because there's a wolf on the cover, So it's like, okay, what's going to happen? Where does she meet don't tell me. Where's she going to meet the guy? The guy's going to come in at some point.
Okay.
Don't tell me.
It's like chapter 4.
Okay.
Fast chapters. But it is, like, you got to remember that they only know the world that they're in. So I try to, like, especially with first person, you have to like reveal things as they learn them because you can't jump ahead. So you just know what they know. So it's gonna blow your mind or blow their minds.
Yes, I so far like, and it's got so many cool modern things like the hologram photos in the room. Adam, actually, I know you're probably watching this right now. Might be your jam. There's a lot of like sci-fi to it. There's a hologram things in the room. There's like, tell some of the sci-fi. Like, there's more than that. I'm drawing a blank because.
I'm trying to think of how far you are though, because I'm like, hold on, the whole city is on like a very scientific. So the themes of it is just science versus magic. So if we're like, like later on, you'll see why and stuff. But the city is under. I mean, everything's under telehealth. Like, disease has been eradicated because of pure blood systems or pure blood lines, and which is all it's bullshit. But sorry, sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, so. We have like everything's grown like greenhouse wise. Like I don't know, the whole city is self-contained, like a very pure, perfect city. Everything's on the moving escalators, and traffics or like freeways are all designed in certain ways, and everybody's just like entertainment is the big thing. And there's so much. There's a lot though that I don't want to say yet. So.
No, it's okay. I'm already in love with this world and this concept. I can't wait to see where it goes, but I'm also really excited to hear that now I have a different character for the second book in the same world. I'm really excited about that. Like, I'm legit excited. So anyways, and it's so cool that you're like in the group for so long and that the group helped you. It's like, that's so cool. That's like that I have an author that my group helped. and I'm reading her now, and
Yeah, I
I'm
couldn't believe
thinking
it.
like,
So I've been writing for a couple of years now, like more of a, it was like a fun project. I didn't, and then it kind of became like my part-time gig. And so I was doing that more and stuff. And then actually my paranormal romance is doing so much better than any of my other books. I was like, wow. Like, and I think it all, and like I said, there was like a lot that went into the release, but one of the things was like the FanGrrrl romance group. And I'm like, I don't think it would be where it was today if it wasn't for this group. So it's not, you know, to the point where like I'm full time now because of this. So it's not, you know, like I'm very grateful for this group. I love it. Like,
oh, that's such a glowing recommendation. Okay, so we actually are out of time, but I want to keep talking. So what we'll do in the authors, oh, go ahead, tell us real quick about your other books that you have, if you want to show them. You know, anything else you want to say?
I'm gonna reintroduce myself to the group in a couple of days because I have a new release. So I'll just wait till then. It's fine. We won't kill any more time.
Okay, all right, okay, all right. So I'm gonna pull you out, and then I'm gonna pull everybody back in. Actually, no, yes, I am. Okay, stand by. Sorry. Okay.